A typical wedding lasts 3 to 4 days, usually a Hindu wedding. So the first day is when is inviting the bride groom usually because the wedding is at the bride's place. So the bride and their family invites or welcomes the bridegroom into their house. So that's like a whole big event in itself. And the second day is the kind of engagement kind of thing. Usually it's held earlier, like 2-3 months prior to the wedding, but then sometimes it's the day before also. So, and then on the third day it's the actual wedding where everyone is invited and people come over, have food. They have 3 meals a day, and it's a huge event. And then on the fourth day or after the wedding itself, they have like a small session where the bride and the groom like socialize kind of with each other more, and there are a lot of people around, but it's more like a fun kind of thing that each other like play around, play small games. It's not hide and seek or anything. It's like, okay, it's gonna sound really lame, but it has a significance to it. So do you guys know puppet? This round round big thing that we eat.
Chips.
Oh yeah, it's so basically it's a round crispy thing. Like, so we take that and break it on others' faces, like slapping a pie on someone's face. Yeah, things like that. Stupid, funny things.
A wedding is there are different parts of the wedding that can span over different times. So you can have a full a wedding that can go over to 3-4 weeks, or it can just be within 3-4 days, like Krishna was saying. Ceremony, like there's a long process in the wedding. The initial planning, the buying the clothing, the jewelry, and the gifts, like all that is a big preparation. And then the actual wedding is like, especially for, I mean, I know from the women's perspective, we have like a ceremony where only the women get together, and there's lots of singing and dancing. And on the bride there's haldi put on, which is turmeric and like in a paste, and that's to like make the bride glow. Like it helps the skin. And you have that, like she puts it all over her body. Like it's a special ceremony where everyone in the family puts some on her, like as a blessing. And later on in the evening or the next day, there's another ceremony for the bride where she gets mehendi put on her hands and feet, and usually it will go all the way up to the arms, and the whole foot will be covered with intricate designs. Then there'll be an engagement, and then one like event where like fruits and vegetables from the bride side are taken towards the groom as like as a first present, and like there is symbolism in fruits and vegetables as of starting a new life together. So the wedding can last, like there's the full process for the wedding, because it's not just the two people, it's also the two families joining together. Weddings take place in the temples, like where the priest will be. But also at the same time there are like wedding halls where you can have the reception, and sometimes the area, like the specific area, can be allocated for the ceremony. Yeah, those are the main two places. There are like particular seasons of when there are like common dates when you can get married. So there is some time like before Christmas. Christmas season is quite a typical time when some people get married. Then there are during the summer, like, wait 1 second. Do you have the same thing?
So
I don't know the date.
hold it.
June, July is like when lots of people, like there'll be a day when there'll be just 2-3 weddings in the same day in one town, like, or 23, or some, like there was just one time when they were in the news, there were like 50 weddings in one day. Like weddings that whole time taking place.
50 is nothing.
Yeah, that's something. Then there is that one season where like everyone's getting married. So you're just always going to different marriages all the time. Yeah, it's usually in the summer.
So like she said, there are like different seasons to get married and not get married. We have our own calendar divided into months, just like the Gregorian one. So there are certain months which is marriage season, and other months which are not marriage season. And non-marriage seasons, marriages don't happen at all. Also, a lot of it basically has to do with the position of the planets and the stars uh, in the solar system, because there's this belief that their movements and their positioning has influences every person a lot, so that they can have a positive or negative effect. Yeah, so arranged marriages, the way they happen is not the way it sounds like, because people think dad and mom tell you, okay, here's a girl for you, you gotta live with for the rest of your life. It's not the case, because there are a lot of things that go into choosing a bride or a groom. For example, we have these things called horoscope. So when you're born, they look at the star and the position of each planet in the solar system, and they map it out and they put it on record. So from then on, um they can actually predict different stages in your life. So they can say, okay, based on your star, based on when you were born, and your horoscope that we have here, you might get married when you were 30, or and things like that. And it happens. It happens. It sounds unreal, but then 80% of the time, such things come out to be true. Okay, according to my horoscope, I will marry a person who is not Indian. Sometimes such things happen, like you don't have control of your life a lot of the times. So that's what my horoscope says, and my parents told me, no, it's like, yeah, whatever. Let's say my parents picked you out. First, they look at the photo, basically. They're like, okay, does she look good? Yeah, okay, give me my horoscope. They get the horoscope, and then they're like, oh, it doesn't match, sorry. Next girl, so that's how it happens. So let's say a horoscope matches with another girl, so then they try to contact her through her parents or her, and then they get the guy and girl to meet. So that's when they date, kind of. So, and that's how they meet first, through their parents. And obviously the guy has a choice to say, or the girl, that no, I don't think I can live with him, I don't think it'll work out. And then so they move on. So that's what arranged marriage is.